Good morning, everybody. It's July 8th. It is about 8:30. Getting a little bit of an earlier start today because I'm working from my home office this morning. And yeah, let's just take a look at what the markets are doing. You see, we had a big sell-off overnight, which I'm okay with that. We kind of needed a little bit of a pullback. And actually, yesterday I had sent out to our chat room this swing trade idea. Probably will turn into a day trade if the market reacts fast enough. But so I'm actually in this trade live right now. Let's see, where is my? You can see where I alerted our members yesterday. This was 10:45 a.m. yesterday, and then this is took this in micros because it's quite a bit of risk. And so you can see got in at a very good level, 1455.50. So right about there, just went slightly past our entry and has bounced. And if I manage this trade, bring my stop up at some point. But currently sitting on a little over $100 in profit. So we'll see how the market continues to react to the jobs report that just came out. We'll go from there. I'm going to close my TOS because I tend to have to um, close and open it every day, or just that's funny. Okay, let's go back to our charts here. There we go. So let's go over to the S&Ps and just see where we're at. Zoom out. This is our 4-hour. Major volume was down here. That's what we're hitting right now. Really nice, opportunity to scale into some longer term positions. We really needed this kind of a pullback. So this may be about as deep as we go. We'll see, but I might add to some of my longer term positions. And I hope you can hear me okay because I don't have my headset on right now, and I got my dog scratching himself in the background. So yeah, good opportunity maybe this morning to scale into some longer term stuff on this pullback. We really could use this pullback, and this is to a nice support area. So I'll be looking at that for some sort of intermediate to long term positions, but narrowing ourselves in. So obviously, kind of this big picture, we had this big old channel that we were sort of dealing with. Swing low to swing high, and then we sort of pulled back into it and ripped up out of it. And basically now what we're looking to see is, are we going to, we should pull back to somewhere within here and, somewhere around the top of this and then bounce. And then we've got this little purple line here. If you remember, I'm not going to go back and draw the profile because I've done it a dozen times now, but that purple line was a very low volume area. So we sort of expect, hopefully, the market to hold over that, because below that was this like previous, really just like massive auction that we finally broke out of, and I would really prefer us to stay above that at this point. So that's kind of where we're at, big picture. Zooming in to look at day trading opportunities. Again, we've got this little bounce right here. So this was a level that was identified. We identified this back on June 30th and kind of kept it there because it never got tested. And so that's just about where we're at right now. And really, it's just also like this bigger rotation that occurred in here. So we've got this big profile of our whole swing up here. But even if we just look at this little sort of rotation area, right around in here, we can see we get a level right about there. And that's kind of what I took that NASDAQ trade off of. So we're kind of holding in that general region. Basically, there's basically like this big sort of support region, support area that's kind of like this, that I'd really like to see ultimately hold, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at as far as that stuff is concerned. We might just bounce from here and head on up, and on the way up we might get some little reactions. So obviously, if you want to trade with the trend, once we start to move up, we look for pullbacks. But on the way up, we can look at areas that we might react. Now this little area, we can see we actually got a little reaction off of this and then kind of fell down through. So we might actually react to this from the underside. I'll leave that there. And sort of the same thing here. This level, we already tested it, and then we got another little reaction off of it, and then kind of from the underside came came down. So to me, this is spent. We'll get this out of here. I'm not going to review trades from yesterday. I had a really good trading day yesterday, but just for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to worry too much about that. But yesterday did turn out to be a pretty awesome trading day. Took some really nice trades, and was done trading by like 10, 30, or 11 in the morning, which is always more fun to just be done. Get in, get out, be done. So let's just get rid of some of this stuff. Let's just kind of start fresh here. Something here, this level held pretty good. Yeah, this level, probably just spent at this point. Not really going to worry about that. So I'll watch this one for a possible reaction from the underside. But again, like I just, for the sake of my trading position, forgot I closed my TOS. I would like that to not be too strong of a thing. So what are we going to look at here? Let's see. This is a very weak high, so wouldn't be surprised for this to get tested. I mean, that's not a very quick rejection there. Obviously, some sellers came in here to bring this down, but overall, this is a very, very weak high. And so that, I still think we could at least probe that, even if we're going to do a deeper pullback. So let's see what we got to the upside. Let's take a look here. The computer fan is just whirring. So right off the bat, right, we see this rotation that comes in, right in here. And I like to zoom into smaller time frames just to get more kind of accuracy on that. And so 43.41, like that's a decent level to look to. If you're going long today, maybe think about taking profits prior to that area. And again, we're really looking at the whole zone, which is really more something like this. And so that would be an area to either think about getting short or to at least get out of your long positions. And then let's just take a look and see what else happens as we come down here, because, yeah, a lot of stickiness here. So that's a level I'm going to watch out for to the downside right there. There's nothing else really profound. This is overnight trading action, so it's just this long, narrow profile. So I don't really see anything else. I'll be watching, basically, if we push up during the open session today, I'll be watching that price action and look to probably just trade pullbacks, because until we get up here to that 43.41, there's nothing really to look at as a potential scalp to the short side. But there's just this is a real messy area. To be honest with you, like you've got this thing here, but in all reality, I wouldn't be surprised for this level to get just blown right through to the upside, because there's still a lot of volume up here too. Like price was still getting accepted up here. So, so far rejection down here. So far our trade is holding, and that's basically what we're looking at. Again, you've got this high volume here. You see my take profit is right before that. So same idea on the NASDAQ. And we just want to see if hopefully we'll start to make some higher lows and higher highs and start to work our way back up. Obviously, the jobs numbers came out, and the reaction so far has been neutral to bullish, right? We've come up since the job report. The job report was at 8:30, and we're just sort of, I guess we're kind of holding neutral from the jobs report. But really, this was the original level on NASDAQ that I gave. You see we touched it to the tick. I usually put my entries slightly before it, and on the micros, the levels are just slightly different. So I just adjusted my levels accordingly on the micro contracts, but you can see that was pretty accurate as far as that analysis goes. So you can protect the position at this point. Basically we get you out essentially at break even. I'm going to just wait till the open and just see how we open, and then I'll consider adjusting my position. We got a pretty nice reaction here. So, you could even, if you wanted to just get out and take profit prior to the market open, you could also do that too, because, market open, you never know what it brings. And that's kind of it, man. Not a whole lot to report today, because we just had this like big old sell-off. Now, if we do continue down, we've got some other little minor levels down here in this whole zone that we still might react to. Again, I'd be looking at this more of a big picture. Think about getting into some swing or longer term positions, because this is a really nice pullback to essentially our breakout level. So this would be a nice opportunity to get long for those longer term positions, because we haven't had a pullback in basically since we started breaking out of this previous sideways stuff. And then same deal on the NASDAQ, right? I mean, the NASDAQ breakout level is much lower because the NASDAQ was just behaving very differently than S&Ps, but still really nice accumulation here, high volume accumulation here that we're pulling back to. And that is essentially what we are trading off of, is that accumulation. You can see it on the profile, right? Really high volume there. And so we're just hoping for a decent reaction to those levels to just get us in and out with a quick swing. I guess we kind of consider it a day trade. It's sort of like in between. I doubt this will carry me overnight. But it is a little bit of a larger trade as far as risk goes that I usually take for a day trade. So that's a wrap, guys. Have a great trading day. Don't forget, you can always join us in our Discord chat room. Just visit dpmtrades.com. It's free, and it's just a great way to dip your toes in or to get some extra support with your trading, especially if you're a futures trader and you're day trading. And there's a lot of you guys that are trading S&P futures out there who are struggling. I see it in some of the Facebook chat rooms that I'm in. A lot of people struggling trading S&P futures, and it doesn't have to be that hard. So, join a community. It really helps, and ours is free, so there's that. And hopefully we see you there. All right, guys, have fun.